This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we are the ones who, all along since day number one, encouraged you to like and share this show on social media and with all your friends and neighbors, because CareBag presents Careology with your very own Roxy Brown.
Thank you, Cliff. Thank you. And good evening to everyone there in Radio Land. A lot of people always ask me, why did you pick WPSL? Because I said smart people listen to WPSL talk radio. They don't want to hear any music. They want to hear news. They want to hear facts. They want to hear good information. So Careology, 3 years running. We are so proud to be on WPSL. I am saying hi to Cliff in the studio. I am not in the studio. I am doing this from home for everyone watching me on social media. Me and baby girl are a little bit under the weather. So you know what? Careology must keep going. And I'm just so glad for technology. And talking to a good friend of mine, that's how we got the topic tonight. And before we go into our topic, I want to go ahead and just touch a few things with you that CareBag is doing. For those that have always and continue listening to us over these years, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love your support. We love your energy. We love your karma around what you do for us. If this is your first time tuning in, Careology is a subsidiary of CareBag Incorporated, which is a nonprofit 501c3 here on the Treasure Coast. And what we do, we don't duplicate, we do it well, and we do it the best. We provide proper hygiene for families that are homeless and families that are in need. We have mobile shower units, the first of its kind mobile hygiene pantry, and our office is open every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can go to givecarebag.com and it will take you right to our website, and you can find all of our information. Even though you can find a lot of our information, I do want to share something with you. Our mobile showers are in Fort Pierce every Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon. And we partnered with the First United Methodist Church of Fort Pierce. That information is on our website. And our homeless individuals can come and get a shower, get some snacks, get some gently used clothes. We are not wheelchair accessible, so we want to keep that in mind. We prefer no loitering, and we want you to go ahead and abide by our rules. And our rules is very simple: be respectful of others. If you want to shower, that's basically it. We have volunteers, we have people that come out with their time. We have a beautiful unit that you can use, but we want you to be respectful. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. Another is that we are now doing open donations, and we have boxes, we have bins, we have flyers, and any business that would like to have one of these in your business, we will be happy to deliver it to you. A lot of items that we are needing, our top 5 items we are needing is Pampers, all sizes, baby wipes, baby soap and deodorant, shampoo and conditioner, and pull-ups. That is what we are really needing at the moment. So if you would like to get in touch with us, you can actually call us at 772-222-7399, and someone will be happy to help you. Or again, just go to givecarebag.com and you can find that information. And I saved the best for last. We have our fundraiser coming up, which is April 15th, and I am over the moon. You can come and meet Careology. You can come and meet our donors. You can come and meet our board members. This is going to be so great. And we want people to come out. It's not a fundraiser, it is a fundraiser. We want you to show you what we're doing, how we're doing it, what our plans are for the next 2 years. And just go ahead and have a really good time. The atmosphere is going to be beautiful. The food is going to be fantastic. If anyone knows me, I don't put on nothing shoddy. And the people that I have surrounding on our team are awesome. And this is going to be an awesome event. Tickets are only $50. That's like Starbucks, having a Starbucks coffee for every day. That's it. Instead of having 2, just have 1. You should be able to buy a ticket. Our seats are limited. it's going to be just a small gathering, and we have a children's fashion show, which is just going to be delightful. So I'd love you to come out, learn about us. No pressure, no sales tactics, no nothing. Just come out and have a beautiful day. And that information is also on our website. So we just wanted to just drop those little nuggets. And just remember, you can find all our information if you call 211, or you can find anything about us from 211, or just go to givecarebag.com. So, we just want to put that out. We're doing the work, we're doing what we have to do, and we need our community support. And that has been vital for us over the last 6 years. And we want to continue, but instead of just asking and asking you, we want to show you this is what we're doing. This is how we're assisting and we're providing to the community. So you can get up close and just see, taste, and smell. I always love to do that. But I'm excited about the show. I have my good friend Janelle gave me a really good topic, and I think it just piggybacks off of what's going on. So granddaughter doesn't feel good. I don't feel too hot. And I don't want to get Cliff sick. I want Cliff to live for another 50 years. Right, Cliff? At least another 50 years. And Zoom, being home and being able to streamline Hi Jet on social media with Jet and everyone else that's listening to us has been made possible. But the reason that all of this has been possible, we had a couple of these items before, but the pandemic made some positive. So before everybody goes, oh my God, Roxy, what are you saying? You know what? COVID-19 has brought the world to a grinding halt. For almost 2 years, we just stopped. It left tears. It left a lot of uncertainty on a personal level. We lost family members. So I can personally attest to that, what COVID has did to our family. And we know that, but, we weren't able to say goodbyes. We cried, and we had to cry privately, and we're accustomed of being together. But despite all of that, there were a lot of positive things that happened, and it made us resilient. And I want everybody to know, COVID-19, there are other stories that are positive. So we're going to talk on positive now. Creativity. A lot of moms had to get creative with their children. It brought a lot of families together. It had to make you self-disciplined, and you had more family time and less responsibilities, because now some people say you are stuck, but sometimes being stuck is a good thing, because it lets you figure out how you got to maneuver and how you have to get out of a lot of situations. And and another thing it did us, telemed. You can call your doctor. I found the best doctor that comes to your home. I'm not going to give his information out because I don't know if he wants a whole lot of business. But when I'm sick, I call my Dr. J, and we talk. And if he has to come, he comes to my home. I don't have to go into an office. I don't have to worry about me being sick, getting sicker from somebody else. And that felt good. We had a lot of telemeds. We had all these other opportunities that opened up so individuals can go to when they were sick. And it was good. You can get triaged by, nurse practitioners, triaged by doctors, and you're in your home, telemedicine. That became a big thing. And the reason that this came up is because I had to go and pick up something today. And I was able to order my groceries, go and pick it up, pop the back of my car open, park in my designated spot. They put it in, picked up my pharmacy, and boom, I was home. Didn't have to get out my car. The other day I needed groceries. I didn't have to leave the confines of my home. You want to get dinner, you have DoorDash. There's so many things you can get. And that has been the positive of this. I don't know if it was, I know Cliff had to work. Cliff, you were in the studio most of the pandemic, isn't that correct? So I can see you nodding, but they can't see you. Huh?
They can see.
How was it during the pandemic for you?
Oh, we were all locked down, and well, I rarely get to go around and visit anybody anyway, but I tried.
Well, radio stations, different places were essential. So as Cliff said, he was locked down in the studio. But look how many things have just come about since the pandemic. More people are working from home and love it. I have a friend that is just killing it working from home, staying at home and working. You have Zoom. Instead of having to rush to a meeting, gas, go here, go there. You can do it right now. You have DoorDash, you have Instacart, you have Uber Eats. So many of these things. We're not taking any calls because I'm not in the studio. But if anyone is on social media and you have some things that you like that have happened during the pandemic that you see the pros from, these are one of the good things we want to know. Yes, there were a lot of, financially, we learned to buckle down. We learned to we learned kindness. It became global. Our earth healed. I remember watching TV and seeing the animals just walking all through streets and coming out because the earth healed. My allergies never acted up. Everybody was wearing a mask. And I noticed not until the mask has come off, I have gotten sick as a dog. I don't like the mask, don't get me wrong, but things have just, you see the difference since, the period of the pandemic, even though it's still around. But a lot of things have really changed, and some things have been for the positive. And a lot of the things I've noticed for me personally was time for me. I never could plant anything. And I know I've told you guys this before, but I became really good. I got a big green thumb. I became really, really good at this. And that's something we want to look at. There's so much negative that we hear that we had every day. We were hearing the death tolls, the death tolls, the death tolls. But there was some positives. Now, I don't want to go ahead and make light of the entire situation because we had a lot of things that just really went wrong. A lot of mothers were confused, they had fear, they had worry, they had a lack of support. Everything was confusion, confusion, confusion that went on. And just as in our health, we were uncertain about a lot of things. We had a lot of shortages, between the death and anxiety and just a lack of finding out. A lot of people lost their jobs. So the finances for some was really, really hard. And then while some people found to be kind, a lot of people just got angry. A lot of people had a lot of social, isolation, disappointment, a lot of sadness. But what we're trying to do is look on the part on what has happened that we are still basically not only learning from, but we're still utilizing. You can't get rid of DoorDash right now. You can't get rid of Instacart. You can't get rid of Zoom. There's so many things that we have during the post era, Uber Eats, staying at home. There's so many things that have happened that you're not going to get rid of that. Right now, so many businesses need people to be at work, but so many people are comfortable at home. You're less gas, time with the family, you can get things done. There's just so many things that you can do. And telemedicine is big right now. I know some friends, they sit home and that's all they do. You call in and they just help you. Either you go to the hospital, go to the doctor, or you follow their advice. So these things have just become really, really interesting. And I love them. A lot of people hear me and they say, "Oh my God, Roxy, you're morbid." It's not being morbid. It's looking at out of everything bad, something good happens. And that's what we have to look at. We have to look out at the good in this. There are a lot of individuals that a lot of students actually love being at home. They actually learn a lot better. And that's something that we need to look into. There's so many people that got jobs now from Uber Eats, from Instacart, from so many people that couldn't work or find it hard. Those are the positives we have to look at. Isn't it nice to know that if you don't feel good, you can sit at home and just order your food? You don't have to go out. You don't have to depend on a friend. It's just there for you. So many people said, "Roxy, how can I help?" And I want to say, I need this, I need that. But while I'm talking to them, my fingers are just busy pressing juice or soup, and it makes it easy. it's that comfort. And those are the things I always wonder. As I was talking to my friend Jay, I was wondering, would those things have existed if we didn't have the pandemic? Or how long would it have taken for them to really come and people to really understand? I know some things were here, but we didn't really pay attention to them. But you can buy a drink. You have to show your valid ID. You know, you want to have dinner, you want to buy wine. All of this you can do. Where did we ever think that we'd be able to get this? I want to come back. I'm going to go and do a break, but I want to come back and I want to just talk about other things that we've had. But it's so important to hear from our sponsors, because without them, Roxy couldn't do the show. So Roxy and Cliff will be back with Careology about the positive parts of the pandemic. See you in a minute.
Roxy will be right back with more Careology,
baby.
the science of caring. Coming right back to you on WPSL. Stand by.
What's wrong?
Create custom business signage that customers can't miss or resist. Let Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie help you get the job done right. Over 80 years combined experience. Get it right the first time. Call 772-337-4027 and tell them Roxy said to call.
Why are you crying?
Remember, call 772-337-4020.
We cried for that?
Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie. If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We now return to Careology, the science of caring. Once again, here's your host, Roxy Brown.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for those that are still with us here on social media, on our digital platform all over the world. And we're talking about something that a lot of people might not want to touch, but at Careology we do, because we can. And one of the things we're talking about is the positive outcomes that have happened from the pandemic. And one of those positive outcomes, like I said earlier, is that I can be home and I can still do the show, not feeling well, and I can still give you a good show, good conversation, because of just everything that is there. Technology has gone to such a level. Yes, people can take rides to the moon and they can do all of that, but there's so much we can do just here. Ordering dinner, if you're on social media and you want to let me know, how many of you love using Instacart? How many of you love using Uber? I really don't use Uber. So you guys would have to tell me. I drive a car. So when I'm not home, I do use it, but very rarely. But how has the pandemic changed your life on a positive note with the new technology that we've had? We have to look at that. There's always, they always said there's a bright side to everything. And I believe on looking at the bright side, at the positive effects of what has been a tragedy. And we're not taking light of the situation by any means, like I said earlier, but we always have to look at something. And because of this, our world has really opened up. I know we have cars that can drive by themselves. I'm not a fan of that. Hey, I believe that mistakes happen, and I believe electronics go bad. So to have a car that can drive by itself and not being manned actually scares the bejeebies out of me. I want to see somebody behind that wheel. And I don't mean just a body. I need a coherent body behind the wheel driving that car. But, so many changes have come. And, like I said, we never want to take a serious crisis and just make it go to waste. We need to look at the entire thing, and there are just so many things that have happened, and we want to really, just go ahead and put it on there. So, like I said, on social media, because we are on our social media site on Facebook, if you have something that you'd like to go ahead and share that you found that was, you know, just mind blowing, please do, because I can't remember everything. I know that there was a reduction in CO2s and other polluting emissions. And we had the night sky. You could see it. It was beautiful. We had less paper. Most people, because they're working from home now, we had a lot of trees. We had our environment that we are trying to save. And people were having to be on time for their Zoom meetings because there was no reason for you not to be there because you were home. So you learned punctuality and everything else. You learned what the greatest gain is an enhanced family life. And I think out of everything that we've had, having an enhanced family life was the best thing that could have happened. Though some of us participated in different dialogues on Twitter and Snapchat and different things, we have there was violence on different things. We still had a lot of families that came together. And it's, a lot of people said we are not going to know the effects of what happened, with the pandemic. It's long lasting effects that we're going to see, but we can't talk about the little things that make change in our life. And I think those things are one of the best things. And I love it. I really, really love it. And we want to just go ahead, like I said, go ahead and talk to individuals and find out, that unnecessary traveling. One of the things personally for me, I was going to meetings at 7:30 in the morning, networking, going here, going there. And it felt good to be in your bed. So if you got up, you can get on a phone call. I got so much done during that time because we didn't have to. And I found out a lot of those things weren't necessary. You were repeating, yes, it's good to socialize, it's good to get together, but you're just duplicating yourself over and over again, wearing yourself down. And just your health. I found that I just felt so much better. Even though we were going through a quote pandemic, I felt better about myself. I was looking at just nutritious ways to go about my day, even though I was home, getting out, getting fresh air, walking, up and down, just taking the dog somewhere. And it was good. Some of these things were good. And I think once we've got back to normal, a lot of us have now forgotten that. Are we calling our friends? Are we calling our family? Are we spending those times together? I know that's a whole nother show on parenting, but all that time we took conversating with everyone, making sure everyone was okay, doing a check call and finding out how you're doing. Are we still doing that? Are we still making those plugs and just trying to find out how can I help you? Are we doing that? And I think we need to go back to that. We don't need to go back to the pandemic, but what we need to do is go back to checking on everyone, making sure everyone is okay, finding out how can I help you? Because the kindness ratio during the pandemic was up. Everybody was so concerned about everyone else. Now that it's over, okay, you have that moment of silence, it's done, and I think that's missed, and we really need to get back with it. All those people you were concerned about, you still need to be concerned about them. Still need to ask, do you need anything? Are you okay? We're just missing a lot of that. And, we don't want to take a crisis and the good come out of it. We go ahead and we miss that. That's so, so vitally important. When's the last time you picked up your phone and you called someone that you had spoke to 2 years ago? Because now you're back, your life is back into the grind, you're running around. When have you taken that time and said, how are you doing? How is everything with someone that you know? Are we still doing that as individuals? And we have self-discipline. we have creativity, we have family time, we have so much that's going on. But when are you taking time to get back to those individuals that you were so concerned about? I think that's very, very important. And we want to just, give that little buzz to everyone for them to say, you know what, I should do that. Even though my show was talking about technology, I just think that it's just, I think it's important to talk about that, to get with individuals. And I am guilty of that also. When the pandemic hit, I was calling every cousin I can think of just to make sure they were up, breathing, not coughing, not having a fever, that they were okay. I'm back to my normal routine. I'm back to my busy lifestyle, busier than I was before. And I am too guilty of that. I haven't picked up the phone to go ahead and say, "Hey, how you doing? How are you feeling? Is everything okay?" So I'm not just telling you that. I'm guilty of that also. And we need to, as a world, we need to do that. Our kindness ratio still needs to go up some more. And we need to just find the humility in finding out how others are doing and just being mindful and just caring of others. And I know when this is over, I'm already thinking of two people I'm going to call just to check on them. I already checked on Cliff, so I know Cliff is okay. I can look at him and see him with the long beard. But I want to go and check on someone and just say, you know what, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you doing? It makes someone's day if you can do that. You know, I know everyone loves your phone. A lot of people that you see, so we're going to go back on this now. The pandemic also made our social media, I think that's the negative part. And we're always looking on there. And I was talking to someone last week or this week, and I had to tell them what you see on there is not always real. How you see people living and smiling, that's not their life. There have been so many individuals that were suffering and still suffering by watching what people do, wanting to live how people live and put on that facade. And it's not real. So you can't look at someone on their social media. Oh, I just saw them on here. I saw them on there. They're doing good. You cannot judge that. You cannot look at that and make a predetermination that the person that you know is doing good. You need to pick up your phone, or if you want to send a text and say, listen, hey, how are you doing? Is everything okay? Because people have a way of glossing over, making things look so much prettier. I forgot Photoshop. So many people are photoshopping and doing different things to make it look good, make themselves look good. And you know what? It's not that. So why don't we always talk about little things we want to do. Why don't we make that one of the things we want to do? We have so much good technology. We have so many things that have been upgraded. I'm going to say that since the pandemic, because this is careology, we need to start caring a little bit more. And we need to go ahead and put a little emphasis on finding out what our neighbor is doing. Your neighbor can be across the street, your neighbor can be 3 miles away, your neighbor can be 3,000 miles away. It really doesn't matter. As long as you can go ahead and make sure they're okay. Just check on them, make that time, make it a routine. If you can make it a routine, I have things that I want to do every month or every couple of weeks. I put a calendar on my phone to call, to text. If you're having trouble or you want to remember, go ahead and put that in your phone, put it on your calendar. You know what? Reach out to 2 people, reach out to 3 people, and it makes a difference. You don't know what that call, that text, that don't send an email, that call or that text could do for someone. It could make a difference, because that could lead to a conversation that could lead to saving someone's life. You never know. Some people are still going through, they're still going through something, suffering, the loss, uncertain outcomes, still anxiety. Some people haven't got over losing their job, pay cuts, losing their income. So sometimes a little call makes it really good. And if you really want to be a good friend or a good family member, Instacart them some groceries, Instacart them some flowers, just Uber them some dinner. There's so many things you can do if you can't get to them where they may be. There's technology, which we're talking about, has made things so much easier, excuse me, that it's just I just love it. I really love it. Um, we're gonna come back after this messages because we're gonna take another break. I have to take breaks because I my voice is going, but I just want to go ahead and our sponsors just have been so kind to us. We love the Woods family, Treasure Coast Lexus, Design a Sign. We have Two Men in a Truck, Grows of Builders, Elite Electric. You know, we have so many people that are just pouring into Care Bag and Careology. And we want to say thank you. Hearts Unfold Event Planning. We want to say thank you. They have just been awesome making Care Bag just look so bloody good. And it takes a team, it takes a village. And we just want to say thank you. So we will be back after these messages.
You're listening to Careology, The Science of Caring, and Roxy will be right back in a moment or two.
If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Create custom business signage that customers can't miss or resist. Let Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie help you get the job done right. Over 80 years combined experience. Get it right the first time. Call 772-337-4027 and tell them Roxy said to call. Remember, call 772-337-4020. Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie. Why call Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast? You want to move your business without moving a single meeting? You want it handled with no fuss. Lots of stuff, no time to move it? You need the pros that care. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast. Family owned and operated franchise. Call 772-236-0827. 772-236-0827. Movers who care. Visit twomeninatrucktreasurecoast.com. Thinking of building your next home or renovating? Come see us at Grozer Builders. We will create a home suited for your lifestyle. With years of experience means we give you a complete professional service from a dream to a concept. You will get the best results, best value, best quality is what you get from Grozer Builders. Visit us at grozerbuilders.com. You deserve better. You deserve Grozer.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
And now back to Careology, The Science of Caring. Once again, here's your host, Roxy Brown.
Hi, Cliff. Thank you so much and welcome back. If you are tuning into Careology tonight, we're just talking about how we're harnessing the powers of the positiveness of the pandemic. I know that's a lot, that's a mouthful, but when you sit back and you think about it, you know, technology has played such a big role in what has happened. And Karen on our social media web, she says it best: in the world where you can be nothing, be kind. And we're starting to lose that. We're starting to let other things go ahead and make us forget that we just had a lockdown almost for 2 years. And we're back to the BS of so much that we need to go ahead and harness and get back to what we need to get back to. And that is being kind and staying connected. Yes, I'm busy and I am one that really has a hard time, but sometimes this is how I do things. If a friend or someone I know comes across my mind, the first thing I do is text them or I call, depending where I am and what time of day it is. You know what? I was just thinking about you. How you doing? My dad used to tell us that if someone comes across your mind, they came across your mind for a reason. Do something and just check on them. We have our phones. It does not cost us anything to send a text to call someone. How are you doing? You know, staying connected locally across miles, it's something that's so important. And, you know, people have, we're were so encouraged to reunite with family. We had no choice but to reunite with families during the pandemic. Let's keep doing it. Let's not let it just go by the wayside. Let's continue to do that. You know, some families and some people are having regular Zoom meetings with families. You know, people are texting family members regularly. People are checking in on one another and increase care and compassion. And this is all a good thing. But what about some of us that have let this slide? You know, let's bring it. Like I said, I'm a guilty one. Let's start bringing this back. Let's start. Yeah, you might not want to talk to all your family members. Let's send them a text. Some of you are saying, "Oh, if I call them, they're gonna ask for this." It doesn't matter. But let them know. Let them know. You know what? I'm thinking of you. It does make a difference, and I think that is so important. And because we have this technology, we need to keep harnessing it for good. You know, in many cases, we have the virtual meetings. We have all of this going on, but there's so much that we have for good that you can do with your families, that you can enjoy, that you can do with friends, that you can still stay connected. And that's something that, you know, that we want to do. If you haven't talked to someone in a while, just call them and just say, "Hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you." You don't know when you hang up that phone, when that text is over, you don't know how you might have made that person's day. You could have stopped that person from so many things. You don't know. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be ugly, it could be indifferent. You just don't know. A kind word goes so much further. I know we're busy, I know we're inundated with so much, but taking the time and just enjoying what technology has brought us and how they have elevated it for us. It takes good people to think of ways for us to make us happy and to make things easy. And our life, and because we have this good technology and it makes our life easier, that means we have a little bit more time. So let's take that little bit more time and let's just use it for each other. Let's hug a friend, hug your grandchildren, hug your pet. You know, just do something that you're not always feeling rushed. The, as technology gets better, it is supposed to give us a little bit more relaxation and a little bit more time. And that's what I've done. Okay, if I'm not gonna cook dinner, then I'm gonna take time to snuggle with my husband. I'm gonna take time to snuggle with my grandbaby. I'm gonna rub the dog a little bit, or I'm gonna text a friend. Take that time to reach out to someone and just let them know that you care. I think that's really, really important. Hi, Kenya. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jet. For those that I can't see, thank you guys for your words. And that is true. And it is a reminder, Kenya, not just for you, but for me. So I'm going to take the same thing I'm telling you is the same thing I'm going to tell for myself. And you want people to know our technology is so good. I can't wait to see what they're going to come. I hear that, you know, I read a lot and I heard they're going to have drones now that when you order your DoorDash, it could bring the food to your door. I don't know how good that would be. I don't know if the birds are going to peck at it. I don't know if it'll get here late or if it'll be dry, the atmosphere. We don't know. I'm sure they'll test it out. But just think about it. Things are going to be so much quicker as we evolve, as years go by, as every time we get a little older in years, technology just gets a little bit better. Let's use that technology for the good of our families, for the good of our friends, for the good of each other. You know, I think that's very, very important. And we want to just, you know, make sure the kindness is there. Like I said, during the pandemic, we were all about caring, making sure everybody was all right and checking on everyone and seeing life in the bigger picture frame. But now that we're kind of gone back to that semi-normal, you know, the pandemic gave us a pause. It made us think about it made us think about us in a bigger way or even in a smaller way. I still get chills when I see cheers and everything socially distanced. I'm like, oh my God, is it back again? But if we look at things in a bigger light and in a bigger frame, and we move to like the other side, like they say, move from the light, move to the other side of the pandemic, and just see the positiveness of this, and try to get back to being kind. Try to get back to checking on each other, doing more things with your family. appreciating what we have, taking care of our nature, because that is something that I loved seeing. I love seeing just different birds, different animals just coming out because we weren't there polluting and taking up their space, and it was just so nice and it was just so free. The pandemic unleashed a beautiful facet to the experiences that we can see. And and I don't know if we're going to get that back, but that was something that I really and truly enjoyed seeing. And the appreciating of science, the appreciating of the people that take time in labs to go ahead and look after us and find the cures and find ways that we can now come out of our homes, come out of lockdown. That's something I know a lot of people, it's on a different political spectrum, but we're going to just talk about it, appreciating science. The vaccine wasn't developed just out of thin air. It took hard working people. And some took it, some didn't. I did, my personal choice. You didn't want to take it, that's your personal choice. But it allowed us to leave our homes. It allowed us to get on a plane. It allowed us to visit people. It allowed some of us to miss that other door that's called the morgue. It allowed us so many different facets. So to the appreciating of science, I take my hat off to you. If ever there was a time to pause and appreciate science, the pandemic showed us that that was the time. And we want to be grateful for that. So I see a lot of people sending me a lot of message, and it is so true. We just want to get back to that. Yes, we started this off on a really light note about how much we loved the little things that we get, the staying at home and working at home, and the Zoom meetings, not having to get out your bed, just wearing a bow tie and a shirt, and God knows what else from the waist down. But it was just a comfort level of being home. You're in your pajamas at the bottom and you have a suit at top, and you better not forget it and have to jump up or something is wrong. Those commercials you see, having that teledoctor that you can just call, the concierge that can come to your home and just make it easier. Instacart and DoorDash. Getting your coffee. I went out somewhere with a friend, and by the time I woke up, it was my coffee at the door. I mean, sitting there in my hand. Oh my God, that was so good. Those are the benefits of some great technology. And we love that. And I just wanted to let us just appreciate the positiveness that came out of it. Yes, we got a lot of great things: Zoom, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, Meta technology, staying at home. But one of the greatest things that we got other than that is spending time with family, spending times with people that we truly love, finding out that you really like people and that you really like your family. The pandemic showed me I really love my family. I always loved them, but it showed me I love them, I care for them, and I want the best for them, and I want to know they're okay. Some others it didn't go that well, but it wasn't the pandemic. The pandemic just showed you what was there. You didn't want to see it because and that's just it. It was there. The pandemic didn't cause it. You just weren't being honest with yourself. But let's go back to kindness. Let's go back to just loving each other. And our conversation for today was, what's the best thing that happened to you during the pandemic? For me, it was three things that happened. I found out that I really, really can grow a plant and grow a cactus and not kill it. That was so encouraging to me. It found out that I really love being around my husband. I really do. We got to rekindle, we got to talk, we got to plan, and we got to do so many things. And it was time. We got grandchildren, so it was time that we got to see them. We got to spend time on Zoom, on WhatsApp, on different platforms, because you had no choice, so you got to spend time with each other. And now that it's that, I miss that. I see them less because guess what I said? Everybody's busy. So much is going on. Let's take a time to stop and breathe and just sit back and just take stock of what's important for us. That is very important. Our health is important, but above else, our family is important. And we want to recognize that we don't want another pandemic or something like what we've been through for us to realize what we have or what we had or what is missing. Let's go back to that time where we started caring about each other, caring about friends, and just, loving what technology has given us and using it to just enhance our family life, our friend life, and know that we can make things better. That is very, very important. And to all my guys that are here, we love you guys too. I'm so glad you're here. And yes, it is nice doing this from home. Someone just texted me. I miss Cliff. I miss seeing him and our banter back and forth. But because if he starts to talk, you guys on social media can't hear him. But it is just nice to know that when you're not feeling 100%, that you have something that is there to keep you doing your job. And that is something that is affordable to all of us. And we just really need to look like Karen said, we just got to look on the other side. If there's anything we can do, she said, is be kind. And I'm going to add to that is be grateful, because the pandemic has made me very grateful for so many things. And to me, that's the positive side of this. And for those that have joined us and listened, I see so many of you. I want to say thank you on our social media site. We love having you. And Careology is on every Tuesday at 6:05 to 7 p.m. on WPSL. And we have a lot of good more insights coming up. I have a co-host that's going to be coming up, and she's going to be having a really good show in May. And I am so excited to have Asia. You guys are going to meet her soon. I'm going to have her on in a couple of weeks so you can see her. Let us start testing the waters. I need everybody to be nice and gentle with her, because that's what I need. I need everyone to be nice and gentle. This is a beautiful, smart young lady, and I know she's going to bring something to Careology and WPSL that is going to be awesome. We want to reach all facets of individuals, from the young ones all the way to the ones like me and a little bit more intelligent. That's who we want to go, because we know in WPSL, we have some smart individuals that listen. And we want to give you something and open up your eyes to what young people are thinking about.
Miles McGrath did a great job last week.
Miles did an awesome job. Miles is going to be coming on every second Tuesday, and he's going to be bringing items to you that make you go, and make you think. The last one we had was about water. I don't think a lot of us think about that water aspect. And then the first one he did, I think, was sleep. It was all about sleeping, which we know we need rest, but it was good. So we have individuals that are going to come on, and they're going to bring different aspects out, and they're going to bring it from the young to the mature, and it's going to be in between. We need to know what other people are thinking. We need to know what other diversities are thinking. This is how we grow. This is what Careology is about. And thank you. We have just a couple minutes, but I just want to say thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here. And if you have any topic that you want to discuss, that you want us to touch on, please write it, send me, text me. We're going to love it. And what we're looking for, we want to start a youth Careology. If you know a young person that has started a business and is doing good, now a young person starting a business must be 21 and under. 21. I'm going to say 21. 21 and under. That is important. 772-222-7399. You can go to givecarebag.com and you can go ahead and find our number there. Text us, give us our information. We want to start talking. We want to start promoting these young people. No cost to you. If you're doing something locally in our community, we want to know. You're starting a new business and it's coming off the ground. We want to know. That is how you get your information out. We want to support you as young people as the best way possible. And that is one way on Careology we can do our part. And if we're for the community, we have to be for our young people, and that's important. So you guys just go ahead and give us that information. How are we doing, Cliff?
Oh, we got just a few more seconds before we can go ahead and start rolling on out of here. In
Well,
fact, if
I
you're
didn't.
almost
I
ready.
can't believe that time. I can't believe that time has gone by so fast. And again, thank you, Jet. Thank you, Kenya. Thank you, Karen. Thank you everyone for who's been tuning in. We really really appreciate that. We're trying our best to do what we can to give some good information out to the community, and just talk about things that are just not the norm. We want to talk about things that other people are doing. So again, my name is Roxy. I am your host. I'm your carologist on Careology on WPSL every Tuesday night, 6:05 to 7. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Love you guys.
And
Bye.
you can binge watch this show. Go to YouTube, look for WPSL TV.
Binge watch. I love that.
Careology, the science of caring.
Bye, guys.
Roxy. And listen in every Tuesday evening in the 6 o'clock hour on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, the digital talk of the Treasure Coast. Webcasted to the world on Google Home, Alexa, and the TuneIn app.